audience, how many people in the audience either are suffering from or know somebody in their family or network suffering from chronic brain disease, Alzheimer, Parkinson's, depression, epilepsy? Okay, pretty much everybody, right? So I think we've defined the market and the opportunity we have in front of us at CraniUS with our NeuroPass drug platform. So with CraniUS, NeuroPass is providing a transformative innovation to the market. It is the first fully implantable, skull-embedded drug delivery platform that's going to be able to deliver medicine and therapeutics directly to the brain. If you think about the last 50 years in medicine, it is unbelievable the amount of progress that we've seen across pretty much every organ of the body. The one that has seen the least amount of progress is probably the most important, and that's the brain. And the reason for that is a phenomenon called the blood-brain barrier. And the blood-brain barrier, if you want to think about it in simplest terms, is an extra layer of security that our body has built up over thousands of years of evolution to keep out harmful toxins and chemicals from destructing our brain, which is a good thing. On the other side of it, though, when you think about therapeutics, anything taken by pill form, systemically, or through the bloodstream, less than 1% of that is actually getting into the brain tissue where brain disease lives. So that is really causing a lack of advancement in the brain in treatment of diseases. Dr. Chad Gordon is our founder, and he is the director of neuroplastic surgery at Johns Hopkins. And he is a serial innovator who's already had a few exits to his name. But this is really the culmination of a decade plus of work leading us to the holy grail of medicine delivery directly to the brain over the long term. And his first invention that he licensed to Stryker back in 2015 was just a better cranial implant to improve the aesthetic and the appearance of patients that post-operation, when they were getting their cranial implants that accounts for bone loss, the cranial implants traditionally didn't account for muscle and fat atrophy in the side of the head called the temporalis muscle. And so these patients were coming with dents in their head. So Dr. Gordon's first invention was a bulk out or improvement of the cranial implant that had been around from Stryker and J&J for the last 50 years. The bigger uncovering is the bone is about 4 to 5 millimeters thick. This area that he built IP around is about 1.5 inches or 2 inches thick. So instead of just thinking about bringing patients back to their regular appearance, which is amazing, he started thinking about how can I embed technology in this large space that I've uncovered. The next 5 years was spent with 3 first-in-human studies that he conducted. Not many surgeons do one in their career. Dr. Gordon did 3 in 5 years, all utilizing technology that's out in the market to treat brain disease. They couldn't find a spot without causing infection or pain. He embedded this in a cranial implant and was able to safely deliver the purpose of each of these devices. And that gave him the confidence to start the company CraniUS to focus specifically on medicine delivery directly to the brain. The modality that we're using is something called convection-enhanced delivery. You cannot just drip medicine into the brain directly. It will pull and not necessarily treat the area that needs to be treated. So it is a force that over time, so it needs to be delivered over at least 12 hours, builds what you see here in the white circle, which is a convection-enhanced delivery cloud. That is a washing the tumor, and we've seen proof that this actually successfully treats brain cancer and other diseases. A lot of different highlights I like to talk about. Wonderful people in this room. Mr. Secretary, we're really proud to be part of your program and Build Your Future for Maryland and receiving a $1 million grant there. This is a drug-agnostic platform. We are starting with glioblastoma patients in our clinical trial that we are working towards. We had a groundbreaking study in 2023. You just saw a 200-pound swine that had medicine safely and efficiently delivered to the brain tissue. We're looking to do the same thing with human patients. We are a drug-led combination device. We have what's called a 505(b)(2) pathway, which is great because we're leveraging a drug that has already been shown to be safe and effective in clinical trials, so no additional drug work is going to be required. We're just focusing on the delivery system. We already have interest from Fortune 500 companies. We've had 2 executive leadership teams come into our offices in Baltimore, which we're really proud about, and they're very interested in talking about partnership and potential exit scenarios after our first in-human study. We have a robust IP portfolio. We've raised over $25 million to date. The Series A was $20 million. We're now raising $20 million to get us through our first in-human study, which is about 2 years down the line, and we have $5 million of that $20 million raised. We are open to private investors, but we're also looking to potentially take on an institutional lead investor. as I mentioned, we will complete this first-in-human study by the end of 2026. This may be the last opportunity to invest in CraniUS. Here's our leadership team. I talked about Dr. Gordon, myself, Natalie Wisniewski is our Chief Technology Officer. Combined, we have over 100 years of experiences in implantable technologies and smart technologies. And then Dr. Henry Brem, who's just stepping down as the head of neurosurgery at Johns Hopkins after 25 years, is leading our 9-member clinical advisory board. So as I mentioned, we're in the midst of a Series B $20 million round, $5 million already committed, plus the $1 million grant from the state of Maryland. So I'm interested to talk to you folks after we wrap up here today. Thank you very much.